Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Abishai Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers. To the confusion of faith brothers joined unto our ranks. To the hopefully elect, the aquath that are listening to and learning. To you I say Shalom. It's your brother Malcolm coming at you with another lesson in truth. Once again, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim Abishai. This video is going to be called the Charagma, Year of the Charagma and the Sellouts. All right, this is a video that was put up by the elder apostle Tahar. All right, and he made some points that I was listening to this as I started my morning cardio, and the spirit jumped on me to do a response. And I'm just going to start with the reading of the mark of the beast, which is in Revelation, the 13th chapter. And I'm going to start at verse 15. And it reads, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, and that day is coming." All right, because you're going to be labeled a terrorist and a traitor and everything else, and and through the spirit, everything that's happening in America with the government shutdown and the wall and the wars and the falling economy, the dying of the dollar is all leading up to it, because the instituting the mark of the beast, which the guy's getting in his hand on the screen. And the people taking pictures of it as he's getting that mark, is going to be the security blanket. There will be no need for no wall if everyone gets chipped. If everyone gets chipped, then they can track everyone coming in, everyone going out, and know all things. And if you become a problem, they just turn your chip off, or they can find you through your chip. And so they got to take people to the brink of hell, to these hellish conditions, to get that started. That is the plan. That is what they're going to do. All right. So let's continue with that reading. Verse 16. "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." Okay. So that means small and great is a regular guy. Small is a regular guy. Great is someone who's of importance. Rich and poor. Whether you're free to walk around or you're locked up, everyone's going to have to take that bond. And the truth of the matter is, that mark. And once you take that mark, no one's free anymore, because you're just in an open prison now. You're a prisoner that's free to walk around. Because if you were free of the system, you'd be able to just go off grid and do what you want to do and come on back, and you will not be allowed to do that. Verse 17, "And that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark or the name of the number of the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So that's your 666, your mark of the beast, man. And the guy who put the finishing touches on it, there was 6 initials in all 3 of his names. His 3 names came to the number of 666. And this was prophesied thousands of years before it happened. And it just so happens that the man who puts the final touches on it, who creates it, he happened to have 6 numbers in each one of his 3 names. His first, middle, and last name. And he also was an Edomite. All right. And it is the mark of them. All right. And so anyone who's who's telling you otherwise is basically sold out. They're either ignorant of the fact or they sold out. All right. So without any further ado, let's let the apostle speak.
You can take it and you can be forgiven for your sin. Well, you know what you're doing? You're tempting the Most High. You're testing the Most High. And you're being lukewarm because you're riding the fence. I mean, can you sell out? You have the truth representatives from the elite come along and say they're going to give you a blank check and you can fill in whatever you want. And you can You know, you always wanted a Learjet, you can get a Learjet. You always wanted whatever you wanted. You know, you always wanted to take a trip around around the world. You wanted to buy your mama that house. Well, you can get it now. You get a blank check. You might put $100 million, and then you go to the bank and there's $100 million in your name. But they're going to tell you, well, you can say that you're an Israelite, but you can't teach a name, and you can't teach this, and you got to teach it this way, and you got to change it up that way. So you figure, well, I'm still teaching the truth. But then in reality, you're not teaching the whole truth because you're leading Israelites astray. So if you can sin and ask for forgiveness, can you sell out? And then when the missiles are on the way, ask the Most High to forgive you. No, you don't play that. You don't play that shit. And the Most High don't play that shit. You know, we're in the spirit now where us here at Great Millstone, we've been pushing out the mark of the beast so much and showing you these different articles and these different videos showing you how people are actually getting the microchip
worldwide.
And it makes all the sense in the world that's the mark of the beast. It makes all the sense in the world. So now guys can't see it. You had one situation where you had these young brothers roll up on IUIC in Atlanta.
So that's enough on that, man. All right, you get the point. Guys were selling out, man. The same as they did in the ancient time. Because he said something about, you know, in this video about who was under threat. The Herodians were under threat. All right. And the Herodians today are a representation of the Jewish people because that's who they were. They run the media. They run your government. I mean, look at the amount of videos that get taken down or demonetized and, you know, just bringing out information on the Jewish. They don't play that. You bring their name up, you expose them, they demonetize you, they get rid of your video, or they slap a censorship on it somehow. You know, an age restriction. I just watched it happen just of recently. Tommy Sotomayor brought up the fact of all these things about some pedophilia with priests and pedophilia with rabbis, and next thing you know, they demonetized his whole channel. Then the Elder Bar did a video on it, and I reposted it through my channel, and next thing you know, his video got slapped with the age restriction on it. All right, so you know it's the only opposite thing is these guys that come in, you know, unawares teaching things that are different. Why? Because a lot of these guys sold out, man. This is Jude 4 and it reads, "For certain men crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained to this combination, ungodly men, turning to the grace of our power into lasciviousness and denying the only Yahweh power and our Lord Yahweh Shai HaMashiach." So these men who are selling out, they were preordained to do so, man. All right, I'll give you an example of some historical relevance of when these sort of things took place in the past. All right, because when how the Herodians, how these Jewish people has been calling themselves, you know, Israelis and Jewish, going all the way back to Rome, man, with Herod, because the Herodians knew that Yahweh Shai, and Yahweh Shai and his priests, his disciples, his apostles were a threat to that false power structure that had been set up by the Romans, and many of the real Israelites, the elders, the leaders, the priests, were joined unto these fake Jews and these Herodians. Why? To keep their power, to make money, and it's nothing has changed. All right, because John Hyrcanus, he did a forced conversion of Edomites and made them start following the law, statutes, and commandments back before the Roman Empire was fully instituted. You know, during the Grecian time, before right as the beginning of the Roman Empire was rising up, and then that same sect of people rose up to be rulers over the Israelites in Rome, the Herodians. And what were the Herodians? They were Jewish. They were Ish. Okay. This is First Maccabees, the 16th chapter, and I'm starting it around we'll start at the 11th verse, and I'm going to read up until about the 19th. And it says, Moreover, in the plain of Jericho was Ptolemus, the son of Anubis, made captain, and he had an abundance of silver and gold, for he was the high priest's son-in-law. So, once again, you know, you got these people that are screaming and crying about screaming and crying about, you know, Israelite men who have concubines, when the problem is that, look, there's no such thing as a mixed person. You are whatever your father is. But if our women bring forth the baby of the heathen, that child is a heathen. If an Israelite man has a child with the heathen woman, that child is an Israelite. That being the difference. All right? Not saying it's right, not, you know, but what I'm saying is what the fact is, that the child is still an Israelite. And if it's the woman, it's the other way around. And that's another thing, too. All these simple Israelite men simping for these women, trying to please these women on the comment board, coming against the men of the Lord, man. You just a bunch of 2/3 niggas who are going to die. You're going to die. And I'm going to crack open a bottle when the Lord starts putting you 2/3 niggas to death, man. All right? But this is continuing. Verse 13. Wherefore his heart was lifted up. He thought to get the country to himself, and thereupon consulted deceitfully against Simon and his sons to destroy them. All right, to remove them out of the way. And what happened when Simon was removed out of the way and his sons? Eventually, the Herodians took over. That's what happened. And these guys today, these so-called Israelite priests and teachers that are teaching that the mark of the beast is not what it is. That what he's holding in his hand and it being inserted to your body is not the mark of Esau Edom, which the beast system, which is coming to the head of his beast system. This is the end of it. This what the end result was, that chip. All right. It says, wherefore his heart was lifted up, and he thought to get the country to himself, and thereupon consulted deceitfully against Simon and his sons to destroy them. Now Simon was visiting the cities where the country were taken care of for the good ordering of them. That which time he came down himself to Jericho with his sons, Mattathias and Judas, named after their great-grandfather and their uncle. And in the 117th year, in the 11th month called Sabbat, when the son of Anubis receiving them deceitfully into a little hole called Dachis, which he had built, and made them a great banquet, howbeit he had hid men there. And all right. So when Simon and his sons had drunk largely, Ptolemy and his men rose up and took their weapons and came upon Simon into the banquet place and slew him and his 2 sons and certain of the servants. So you're never supposed to trust your enemy anyway. All right. That's, as a matter of fact, that scene from Game of Thrones, the wedding was taken from this right here. Okay. And this history of what happened could be found in Henry Gratz's Jewish publications, History of the Jews, 1895, chapter 1. So this is so basically, you can find the history of the Bible in secular history, man. And what happened there? That set up the Herod's rulership over the Jews, man, the Herodians. That's what that eventually ultimately set up, man. And you still got, and the Jewish people today are still representation of the Herodians ruling over the real Jews. And you got these 501c3 charter Israelites, all right, who don't teach properly, all right. And then you got these clowns that's following them, coming against the mark, coming against the confusion of face, all right, denying the physical action of what the confusion of face creates. Yeah, it does create shame, but it also makes Israelites not look like they once did. It's so simple, and these people are, all right. But with that, you know, I hope this was an edifying lesson. Call halal Yahweh by Shem Abishai, by Hashem Rakak Wadash, and Wa Abad Babal.